Well, I had just finished the video and I was coming back from Questa to Eagle Nest. And I wasn't going to film anything, and I saw what was in front of me. I'm like, I think I need to film this. It's just so gorgeous. So I guess I'm going to film from here 30 miles all the way into Eagle Nest. And I got a couple of things I want to talk about. One of them is, oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself for those of you who are new. My name's Rob. Travels with Dottie. Dottie's my dog, and she's my co-pilot right now. She's right next to me on her little bed in the shotgun seat. And so, where I left off on my last video, I had finished up at a really nice little laundromat in Questa. And when I got there, there was a nice woman there. And I always talk about how I really love going to laundromats on the road. And a lot of people that travel like me don't like it. And I'm like, it's like one of my favorite things. Grocery store shopping and laundry, I love it because it's an opportunity to meet people. I met this wonderful woman. She was in the area, just bought a brand new trailer, was in the area working really hard. As a waitress, I think, and she was here to be near her grandkids, and we just had a really pleasant conversation. Then the woman that's the owner, after she left, the woman that's the owner came in and she said, I know you've been here before and I've forgotten your name. And I said, well, I haven't really been here before. It's possible. Do you watch YouTube videos? And she goes, yes. And I said, that could be where you know me from. And I gave her one of my cards and she goes, oh yeah, I know Travels with Dottie. And I said, well, your laundromat's in it. She was pretty happy about that. So I got to meet her too. So it's, being a YouTuber on the road is a lot of fun. There's downsides to it. I've talked about it. Not today. I'm not going to talk about downsides today. There are way more upsides than downsides. So some people ask, well, how much money do you make on YouTube? Well, a little bit. Presently, I'm hovering around $20 a day. And there's like a peak month in Quartzsite where everybody's wanting to consume RV stuff. It's maybe twice that for a month, but sort of the baseline's about around $20 a day. A big day is $30. The average daily video like this, these days I'm getting about 1,000 views, which means I make about $12. So not a lot of money, but enough to keep me investing in gadgets and justifying, I need this really cool camera. I need this editing software. So it barely kind of keeps up with that. And, keep in mind, there's no escape of paying taxes on that money. So that adds up pretty quick. So don't go thinking all that money's going into this guy's pocket. Uncle Sam is getting his share for sure. What else? I'd like to go back to Questa and poke around and go into the stores and stuff. There's a thrift shop and a cultural center and a really neat looking local market that I've never been in. And also there's a dollar store. There's a dollar store and a Family Dollar there, and a lumber store. There's a pharmacy. There's a lot there in Little Questa that you looked at it on a map, you wouldn't imagine all that stuff would be there. What are we passing here? Oh, I thought it was maybe a campground. I don't know what that is. Some kind of pipeline. But along this stretch between Questa and Red River are a few Forest Service campgrounds. nice camping. Pretty close to Red River, so close to amenities. And as I mentioned in Eagle Nest, we got mountains for sure. We got mountains as bigger than these, but they're set kind of, maybe a mile back from town. These are right in your face here. And it's like this in town in Red River. It's right there. And like the ski resort's right there in town. People parked here. This is let's see what this is. Carson National Forest Campground, Columbine Canyon. It's like a popular place. People are parked out on the road, and there's a river running through there. The river runs through it. I bet there's good fishing. I've mentioned often, I did a whole other video today. A 70-minute long video, and I finished it, did the editing while I was doing my laundry, and started doing the upload. And because we're in the mountains, the upload speeds aren't too great. So I'm looking at it now on the iPhone screen. It says 16% uploaded, hours remaining 9. We'll pay when we get home and get hooked up to real Wi-Fi. We'll speed that up. Now it says 3 hours. And it'll probably just stop at some point, because at some point along this trip, we're going to lose all connection, I think. I think definitely between Red River and Eagle Nest. But so if you saw the video of me driving in the other direction, this is like a whole new show, really. Looking the other way, it really is. I think there's some kind of mine here, you think? There's a big gate, trucks turning, and a big facility there. Looks like built into the mountain. I don't know what that is. So if any locals know what we're looking at there, what is that facility? And I see a windsock, so there must be like a little airstrip or something. Oh, and there's a big ass building. This is all fenced in with serious fencing. Maybe there'll be a sign up there. I didn't even notice this going the other way. It's some kind of heavy construction, but there's no signs. When you see a big facility like this with no signs at all, it's got government written all over it. But if you're from the area and you know what that facility is, let us know in the comments. The curious want to know. Someone was saying the other day how in their little town, the big facility for artificial intelligence, some companies putting in a big facility, and they were kind of worried about that. And AI, right? Artificial intelligence, everybody's talking about it. And it's pretty amazing. But here's the funny thing. Here's my observation. Does that come across as a totally positive thing, artificial intelligence? Think artificial Christmas tree. When I was growing up, artificial Christmas tree was a step way below a real Christmas tree. Definitely the preference was real Christmas tree, and then, I'd be embarrassed at school to admit, we have an artificial Christmas tree. Same with the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, I guess, is better than organic intelligence? Maybe. In many, many ways, yes. But I'm going to guess in some ways, not so much. I want to see them develop EI, emotional intelligence. Bet they can't do that now. There's a big fifth wheel in front of us. There are a lot of RVs around. It's almost, how many days till summer? 2 days? June 21st? Am I right about that? Summer. I always thought the opposite of reality. I thought days get longer in the summer and they get shorter in the winter. And it's actually the opposite. The longest day we're going to have will be the summer solstice on the 21st. And then every day after that will get shorter and shorter until December, when things will start, winter starts, and the winter starts with the shortest day of the year and starts the climb back up every day after the shortest day in the year. So every day in the winter it gets longer and longer, and every day in the summer it's shorter and shorter. And we think of it opposite because we think of summer as, light until 8, 9 o'clock. And that's true. That's true, the beginning of summer. But the fact is, days get shorter in the summer and they get longer in the winter. It's a fact, Jack. In a couple of minutes, we're going to go through Red River going the other way. And like I said, if you saw the other video, this going the other way, you probably see things that you didn't see going the other way. So it's worth it. I was pretty excited about me deciding, even though I have electricity, metered electric where I am this summer, I decided to figure out a way to augment it with mostly use my solar and only use the metered electric when I need the AC. And the first 10 days, I needed the AC for about 3 of those 10 days. And I ended up, my electric bill for that 10 days is going to be about $3. And it surprised me. A 15,000 BTU AC uses a lot less energy than you would think. Now, keep in mind, I'm at a high elevation, and when I say I used it for 3 days, I wasn't running it for 10, 12 hours or anything like that, just a few hours in the afternoon, 2 or 3 hours at the most, maybe 4 on the worst day. Because, the trailer, if I'm going to be inside in the middle of the afternoon on many days, if it's in the 80s, outside, it's going to be, even with the ceiling fan, with the exhaust fans and windows open, it's going to be 90 plus in the trailer. And, you say, well, that's not bad. You can put a fan on. What's wrong with you? Well, I like my comfort, especially if it's going to only cost me $3 in that 10 days, which means for a month, my electric bill would be like $9. We are going by the Red River Marshal. Didn't know there were marshals in Red River. That's interesting. Wonder if that's a county thing. And again, if you're local, tell me about marshals. Are they like sheriff? Is it an elected thing? How do marshals work in Red River? How do they work in New Mexico? know they had marshals in Texas, and I know that by district they were elected and could hire people, and they did. I never really did completely understand the policing they did. I think it was kind of complicated, but I'd be interested in knowing about marshals. Well, guess what? Guess where we are? We're in Red River. If you haven't guessed already, lots of stuff here, isn't there? There's Go-Kart City there. And someone was saying, I remember Go-Kart place in Angel Fire by the side of the road. And it's like, maybe they were thinking of here, not Angel Fire. Maybe they're thinking of Red River. I think somebody just got dropped off by that fifth wheel to go to work. That's what it looked like. And there's Red River Brewery. Highly recommend it. Reasonable prices, great food. You can see how it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, and that outdoor patio is packed with people eating their lunch. Now that their Mexican restaurant that I love so much is on a street parallel to the left here, and I can't remember the name of it. And I think we'll be in Eagle Nest in about 11 miles from here. But again, a gorgeous trip through the mountain pass. And we'll be seeing a different angle going this way. Old Timers Cafe. I like the name of that place. I bet it's pretty good. It's the Three Bears Lodge. Pardon me. Up here on the right are a couple special places I'm going to point out. Right here you see this pink vertical stripe, or red vertical striping. That is a dairy bar. It's called the Dairy Bar. And the pink vertical striping next to it is Red River Candy Company. And you will be overwhelmed with candy. If you're a candy lover, you're in trouble if you go in that place. I've gone in and partaken of both businesses. There's houses on the right. I can't tell. It looks like residential and not business. I'm willing to bet they have a nice 4th of July parade here, and probably fireworks somewhere. Kind of guessed. Eagle Nest Raton to the left. And we should see horses to the right here. Keep your eyes peeled to the right. You'll see a lot of horses. There's Red River Stables. And if you want to go on a horseback ride, you head to Red River Stables, and they'll fix you up on a horseback riding tour. And we're going to do our climb up to over 9,000 feet. It's nice not pulling a trailer like this guy is. Pulling a trailer up these steep grades is expensive. You get the little mile per gallon digital read on my dash. If I go up like an incline like this, pulling my trailer, you can just see it ticking down steadily. So by the time I get to the top, I'd be at about 5.5 or 6 miles to the gallon. And my normal is around 10. And it's level 11 on a good day. And I'm thinking I might get near to 12 when I head back down to Artesia in the fall, because it's pretty much downhill from 8,000 to about 3,500 feet. So it's gravity's working for me on the trip back. It was working against me, and I think I was at 10 something, 10 and change for that trip. You see that guy running, you think, well, he's running downhill. Well, you know what? Unless he lives up at the top of this mountain, he had to run up first. Now he's running down. I bet it feels a lot better running down than it did running up. I think there are people that actually ride bikes on this road. You're taking your life in your hands, because there's no shoulder. I mean, I'm not saying no shoulder, but there's a very narrow shoulder. And all it takes is a moment of distraction on the part of a driver, and it's disastrous. I was saying how I combined the solar and everything. I was so excited about that. So people will love this. So I did a video on it, and I think I released it today. Some people are interested, but definitely not a popular video. Here's the thing. If you do, there are people that do videos in that vein constantly, and they get a lot of views. But if you're like me and you do the kind of video that you're seeing right now, and I try something a little different, like a solar thing, I'm not going to get the views, because the way they deliver, they deliver Travels with Dottie content to people that have shown they like Travels with Dottie. And the people that would be interested in that solar thing may not be the same group of people. I don't know. I'm guessing. I thought it would do well, and I was wrong. It was about, hey, here's how you can save money on electric while in an RV park. We all know tons of videos on you can boondock and have lithium batteries and solar and have free electric, but you don't see many on, hey, let's combine it. And there are devices that are able to take in solar power and grid power simultaneously, and you can set it to prioritize. Use the solar power and only use the grid power when the electrical draw necessitates it. So it's an automatic way of doing what I'm doing kind of manually by wiring things separately in the trailer. Like I have the TV and all the 12 volt in the outlets all wired to the inverter in my solar system. And the only thing that that uses the grid power is when I flip on the AC. Even when I use my Instant Pot, microwave, and air fryer, it's all off the batteries. And so far doing that, I've been getting back, the past few days, I've been getting back up to 100% every day, which that tells you I've got more than enough power to do what I'm doing. Dottie's getting a little restless. Bobcat Pass, 9820. This is Bobcat Pass, and we're about to enter Colfax County, where Eagle Nest is. We reached the peak Now we'll be going downhill. And that guy in the trailer is probably saying, "Oh, good. Now all I'll do is use up my brakes." Oh, here's a guy with the hood up with the fifth wheel coming up. I bet he overheated. Bet you anything. I think I'm going to call this video Enchanted Circle Leg Questa to Eagle Nest. And maybe I'll do one the next time I have to go into Taos. I'll do an Eagle Nest to Taos to Questa. Yeah, he's getting nervous about his speed. He wanted me to go by him, but I didn't take the hint. I don't think good enough. I don't see anybody coming, so I'm going to go ahead and go. There we go. Now the guy behind me seems awful. He passed him too, and it seems in a hurry. But the speed limit is 45. It's 25 around this curve, so you do need to be careful. You know, pulling a trailer in the mountains is no joke. And I get 10 miles in trailer. Right now, even with mountain driving, I'm without pulling the trailer on the current tank of gas, or last two tanks of gas, I'm at 18.3. Now the speed limit's up to 60. And we're almost at the end here. Speed limit's 60, but it's an awful windy road for 60, but I guess it's okay. Cellular data not available. Got the message. And now it is. I don't know when that popped up. I haven't been looking at the screen. But it says 27% uploaded, 40 hours left to go. I don't think that's right. But we're at 32, it looks like 32% uploaded. Now it's saying 9 hours left. It doesn't know what's going on. I keep thinking the end is going to be right around the corner, but we haven't passed Elizabethtown yet. And it's 3 miles from there, or 3.5 miles from there, so not quite as close as we thought. Elizabethtown Road ahead, Garmin says, so that means we're a little over 3.5 miles from the end of this video. We're going 60 miles an hour, so that means 3.5 minutes, right? I just heard a new little metallic sort of rattle. New noises are not good in vehicles. So I hit the brakes a little and it went away. Now I sped back up and it's gone. I fixed it. Elizabethtown, if you didn't see my prior video, is some people call it a ghost town, but that's a stretch because there's really nothing there. There's a few walls left of a hotel made out of stone in a cemetery. Everything else is there are people that live out there in homes that have been built long since Elizabethtown was a thing. It's off to the right there. And your traditional ghost town is, you've got a lot of structures and there's no one living there. That's not really what the deal is with Elizabethtown. But it's interesting still for two reasons. In the late around 1879, I don't know if I got that year exactly right, but close. It was the most populous town in the whole New Mexico territory. And it was on track to maybe be the capital, who knows? But at the peak of it, there was a gold rush in the area, and when that dried up, so did the town. And then it went down to just a few hundred people, then everything burnt down one day. Everything made of wood, and it never came back. But the other interesting thing is that the wilderness area between Elizabethtown and Taos, which is a lot closer than you think because it's right over the mountain there to the right, a guy lived in a cabin, and he used to invite strangers to have dinner at his house, and he'd murder them. He was a serial killer, and he was eventually caught by a vigilante group that caught up to him out there and killed him. So those are the two Elizabethtown big stories, and there's a lot of other history associated with it. But to me, those are the two most interesting things. Now, when we get down here, the end of this long stretch, maybe a couple miles, we're on Highway 38, we're going to run into Highway 64. And if I were to make a right on Highway 64, that would take me to little town of Angel Nest. But if I kept going straight, I'd go through a mountain pass, not quite as dramatic as the one we went through, but nonetheless a bona fide Rocky Mountain Pass. It would take us into Taos. And if we continued driving all the way through Taos, out the other end there, we would find ourselves back in Questa, where we started. And that would be the full, in what they call the Enchanted Circle. So today is the Questa to Red River to Eagle Nest leg, or half of the Enchanted Circle. I've been through the whole circle, but never all of it in one day. And you can see the lake in front of us, which could only mean one thing. We've arrived at Eagle Nest. And I was thinking of just ending it when we got to the intersection here. But I can't bring myself to not film when I drive through the village. Just can't do it. It's not in me. But as soon as we go through the village, Actually, I might as well just go all the way home so you can see where my campsite is. I'll turn the camera around and save my thanks and goodbye. How's that? And I can see the intersection from here straight ahead. The American flags provided by the village of Eagle Nest start lining the road here. Red, let's see, Red River, Taos, Cimarron. If you've been with me, you see I've done a trip to Cimarron. Raton is about an hour in the direction of Cimarron. You go through Cimarron, and then round about the time you hit Interstate 25, you go a little bit north on 25. And you're in the town of Raton, which I hear is pretty interesting. And it's only you keep going 5 miles more and you'll be in Colorado. Keep going in Colorado, and 25, you're going to hit the town that's probably the most recognizable, to me anyway, would be Pueblo. But here we are in the village of Eagle Nest, my summer home. Golf carts. You actually don't see a lot of golf carts here. I'm going to guess technically I don't think golf carts are allowed on state roads, but I don't know that. I know that's true in Idaho. You can't drive a golf cart or an ATV on state roads. County roads only. There's the visitor and museum. We'll be seeing a lot of that this summer. All the tours we're going to go on will be leading from the museum. They're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this summer. Very interesting. It's there's no fee for the museum, but nice to donate. And my home is right up at Weathers RV Park. And you'll see my trailer isn't actually in the park technically, it's right next to it, but it's property owned by the RV park, and they are gracious enough to let me stay there. There's the office. Hey, I got to check and see if I have any deliveries here. Don't think I do. I think it's early, but we'll check anyway. Arriving today, not delivered. Okay. But later, I got a bunch of stuff. Nothing exciting though. Extension cords, a couple more great t-shirts, a mirror for my bike, and a dash cover. There's the lake. And look at me sneaking around down by the fence here. What's he doing? Where's he going? Well, as soon as that tree gets out of the way, you'll see where I'm going. Drive carefully by the wood pile. And there's a beautiful little Winnebago Micro Mini out there in the field by himself. And that would be me. Me and Dottie and George. And here we are, home sweet home, my summer home. It's depressing what the view I have, isn't it? All right, let's turn her around. Turn her around. And I hope you enjoyed half of the Enchanted Circle. And both Dottie and I appreciate you hanging out with us. Dottie's happy to have been along, right, Dottie? You still have some water there, you know. All right, take care, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Take care.